Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Joy Blooms. This week is inspired by my new love of watercolor painting. Recently discovered it. Thank you, YouTube, to all these amazing watercolor creators that are putting out instructions on YouTube, and I was instantly hooked. So I wanted to try to incorporate some of the watercolor technique into my paper making. So this week I used what they call a wet on wet technique. And I just kept adding wet onto the wet tissue paper and letting the color just do what it wanted to. I just loved how the paper came out so much. I wasn't sure what kind of flower to make. So I did throw it out to social media, and I thank everyone for their responses. I did get answers such as a rose, an iris, but the overwhelming vote was hydrangea. So that's what we're going to make this week. I've made hydrangea once in the past. I made a cute little trio of branches. They were potted in a terracotta pot, and that was inspired by like a home goods item that I saw, and I felt like I could pretty much replicate it. So today, I think I'm just going to stick to some branches from what I was looking at online. It looks like most people display them in like either a cube or a round, short glass vase. I am using the instruction from Livia Cetti, I hope I'm saying that right, Cetti. I have been following her books since I started making paper flowers, and she does work mostly with tissue paper. She does have flowers also in crepe paper, but her tissue paper flowers are the ones I seem to gravitate to, and she has hydrangea. So I'm pretty much following her pattern. Her books are great. Here is her pattern, and you can see I just copy it on stencil film, and I'm going to go for it with this paper. So let's get started on this watercolor-inspired project and see how these hydrangea come out. So the first thing I did was cut strips of the paper about maybe 1.5 inches by 3 inches to fit the pattern. And then I went ahead and cut the pattern out. You definitely want to use a clamp. This is a trickier cut because it's a lot of intricate cutting. And you're going to need at least 24 petals for each branch. I went more with 27 to 30 petals per branch. So first you're going to grab two 20 gauge wires and cut them in half. So you'll have a 9-inch stem. And I'm using some pre-purchased stamen in yellow or white works. And you're just going to fold and tape that to the top of the wire. You're taping as close to the top of the wire as you can possibly get. Then take your petals, your petal paper, and just to thin it for when you attach it to the wire, cut the corners off, and then fold it up. I want to thin out the end of the petal. So I'm just cutting out a couple of V shapes. So when we attach it to the wire, it's not so thick. Now grab your fondant tool. I'm using the largest size and rolling it to give these petals a curl. Now you're kind of folding it like a fan and attaching it around the stem. And you don't have to be gentle. It's okay to squish it because we are going to unfold it. And then tape it to the top of the wire. Now just put your finger in there and start pulling the petals out, and you'll see how nice it's going to look. So there you go. 1, 2, we need 24 at the minimum, so keep going. I'm making 3 branches in total, actually 4. Once you have all your blooms done, group them into 3s, and you're also going to grab some leaves and group them into pairs. Now we're ready to assemble a bloom. The first one I did, the stem got way too fat on me. So I went back to the book and learned I need to trim the wires. So for every trio of flowers, we're actually going to cut 2 of those wires out. So I started taping them up and then trim 1 wire, tape down below that, and then trim the second wire. So those 3 blooms eventually just come down to 1 wire. This made the entire stem, when they were all put together, much easier to work with. So you can see how much thinner it is than the original one. So now you're just going to keep adding your trios of blooms and add either 2 or 4 leaves. It is pretty tough to finish it off. It's a lot of wires to have to cut through, so I did find that I was really struggling to make a clean cut at the end of all the wires. And then just finish it off with some floral tape. And then position your blooms to where you want them so that your entire hydrangea blossom looks real full and there's no bare spots. And here are the hydrangea. Wow. So let's debrief about this project. First of all, thank you for the idea of making this bloom. When I first made the paper, my first thought was to use a petal that would be bigger so that more of the pattern of the paper would show up. But this was definitely the way to go. So thank you, viewers, for suggesting this flower. So let's talk about how much work went into these. One, there's no glue. It's all tape and all wire. So you really need to have very strong taping skills. Every flower is taped. You want your tape as tight as you can. It's a lot of trimming stems. I'm really happy with all of it. I just think they're so cute. I did not follow it, which when I got to the assembly part, I started going a little rogue, and that's why my first branch was so thick. But then I went back to the book and understood she was trimming wires out, so it worked really perfectly. Thank you so much for suggesting this flower. Thank you for watching. Take a minute, subscribe so you see each week we have a new project, and we are so excited to ignite your creativity. Have a great week. Keep blooming.